Today we're going to be talking about the tackling medical tourism. How do we tackle medical tourism in Nigeria? The Senate plans to rebuild Nigerians' healthcare. They said they had passed a second reading on a bill to establish a health infrastructure development agency. How do we tackle medical tourism? How do we build our health sector here in Nigeria so as we'll have a good medical treatment? You know, when anybody is healed, you don't have to travel out of Nigeria to get good medical treatment. That is what we're going to be discussing today on TMI. And my guest here that will be analyzing this topic together is Mr. Said Ajadi. It's a political affairs analyst. Hello, good morning, Mr. Said.
Good morning. Good morning, Nigerians. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming.
Pleasure's mine.
You look good, by the way.
Thank you, and you too.
Thank you. All right. The Bank of Industry, the bank industry executives and Senate committee jointly inspected the 12th floor 150-bed Nissel International Hospital in Abuja. You know, they went there, they inspected the hospital, and they said it has held a potential model for reversing medical tourism trend. They're actually looking for a way they can end, they can tackle medical tourism in terms of whereby, even our high-rank people like the government, the president, and all of that, where you're sick in your country, you don't have to travel out of Nigeria to get a proper medical treatment. How can we work on our healthcare, our hospitals here in Nigeria to be able to, like I said earlier, when you're sick, you don't have to travel out of Nigeria? Do you even think that will be possible?
I give kudos to the people that did the last one that they inspected. So I clap for them. This is long overdue. Nigeria needs quality service, not mediocrity. Training in Nigeria, when you look at the doctors, has shown that Nigerian doctors have received functional and perfect training. However, practicing in Nigeria has shown a lacuna where there has been no service rendered. When our doctors leave the country, like Japan and all of that, they get a better deal anywhere in the world, in America, in England, in Europe, even in some African countries and the Middle East. Why? Because it means that the training here is perfect, better. That's why they can get employed. In Saudi Arabia, they get employed. As a matter of fact, they don't even leave them. They don't allow them to come back. What am I saying? The people that built the 5-star hospital in Abuja know the potential of Nigeria. It does not make any sense for us to have such professionals in Nigeria and go out to go and meet them in UK, go out to go and meet them in America, when we should have them work here. So it is long overdue for the House, the National Assembly, to enact a law which will enable us, Nigerians, get healed, get treated in Nigeria.
So do you think it is fair at this point for public figures to campaign on healthcare promises only to fly abroad when they fall sick?
It doesn't make a sense. That's what I said to you earlier. For our officials and politicians to leave the shore of Nigeria and go and get healed elsewhere. Our president died in UK.
UK, yes.
May Almighty Allah forgive him and have mercy on his soul.
Amen.
It's a shame for me to see the first person of Nigeria die in UK. And that has been the procedure and the precedence for over how many years? You have so much of stolen funds in England, stolen funds in America, that would have been put to proper use here. How much does it cost to put a 5-star hospital here in Lagos, there in Abuja, one in Port Harcourt, one in Kano, 6 geopolitical zones? I can fly with the helicopter and land on a 5-star hospital in Abuja. You don't need to be seen. The former vice president, it's a secret that we didn't know where he was treated, but he was treated in Lagos.
So there is actually a 5-star hotel.
There is one in GRA Ikeja. It looks like a hotel, but it's a 5-star hospital. So it is possible to make things happen in Nigeria if you have the focus and you are patriotic. I don't believe in failures or saying it's not possible and all of that. all the hard currency that you take out of Nigeria, a day in a British hospital, you are going to be spending close to £5,000. And here in Nigeria, you can't spend half of that. So it doesn't make sense for us to continue to show our dirty linen in the public. Why should our president die in England? Why? When we have what it takes here, our personnel has held the president. The president of Saudi Arabia came to UCH in Ibadan, 1974 to 1976. He was being treated in Ibadan. The records are there. So how can we now turn around and our hospitals are now death rows and we are running away from our hospitals and we're now going to UK? This is our colonial people. And so strategically for Nigerians, it doesn't even make sense. National security should not have allowed that to happen. Because our first family is there. We have to be security conscious about them. That's how to think. It's an aberration for us to continue to go out, go to India, go to America. It's a waste of resources.
Just like our former late president, President Yaradua, during 2007 to 2010,
That's what I'm saying.
When he traveled to Saudi Arabia for treatment. Also, our current president, Tinubu, also traveled, to London. That was 2021 for treatment as well.
It's not right.
Which is not supposed to be like that.
It's not right. The kind of resources in the hands of governors, in the hands of the National Assembly, and you cannot be taking 2 billion as a senator for constituency allowance, and you cannot invest nothing to show. That's why the president is making noise and saying that we are giving you money, states and constituents. What are you doing with it? It has never happened. A House of Rep is taking 1 billion constituency allowance. What are you doing with it? You're not going to you saw the way the Buhari was buried.
Yeah.
It is basic. Whatever you are nothing. To start with, you're just a piece of sand. And it's just the time you are here that you have. So why don't you implement positive things? And the foolishness of our people is that they will now steal the money here and go and keep it with the colonial masters. Is that not the height of foolishness? Someone that enslaved you economically, you now steal from your people, enslave your people, you go and keep the money there. If they give you the codes when you are alive, by the time you are dead and your son or anybody goes there, the money is not going to be released. And so many cases which you don't want to stay on here. So it is high time we invest in ourselves. We should stop complaining. For me, we should stop complaining because we have all it takes to turn around everything. We are complaining as problems. I can start to analyze it, but for time.
So we have all it takes here in our country. It's just for we
Precisely. Going into England in those days was 100 naira. America's 150 naira. Who believe that happened in Nigeria? Because we had airlines. We had Nigerian Airways. Okay, some people said Nigerian Airways was not good. It was mismanaged. You sold it for pittance. Where are we today? If you don't see Ethiopia, if you don't see Emirates, or you don't see British Airways, you can't leave your country. And we are 200 million. It doesn't make any sense.
Nigerians, the government, they need to do better.
We should sleep, but not all of us in the same direction. Some people should think for Nigeria and say, no, these people that did the hospital in Abuja, because I saw it on air.
Yeah.
Kudos to you once more.
The executive director at Bank of Industry, former, she said that hospital, NISA International Medical Hospital, once started as clinic, but now it's been tracked to be one of the world-class hospital, serving as strategic infrastructure to retain patients locally,
there you go.
Reduce foreign exchange, outflow, and all of that.
Who is thinking for us? Now the assembly are making noise now that they want to enact. Is it for themselves or do the real things for Nigeria? There's no reason for us to be saying we're hungry. There's no reason for us to be saying we don't have electricity. There's no reason for us to say we don't have hospitals. Because we have the resources. But it is lack of planning. Because if you fail to plan, you have planned to fail. What is your priority? First, is to save lives.
About the priority, there's a speculation saying all over the place that we're always applauding our government that they are constructing road and all of that, which is not the priority. The priority is, are they building hospitals? Are they, What about the food in the market? Is it cheap?
This is what
These
I'm
are like the
saying to you.
Yeah.
Priorities. You see, in accounting, which we studied, there's scale of preference. You have to decide which one you want to spend your money on, the little resources you have. Decide which one is more of priority and which
Yes.
one is less of priority. Yes, they are all needs, but you have to determine what is right. Why should each local government not have an ambulance system, a functional ambulance system? Why should each state not have at least 1,000 ambulances minimum? Because you see, emergency is key to success of the people. There's so many souls that have been lost that need not to have died if we took health as a priority.
Wow. Yeah.
I've seen examples of that personally. And so part of what I need to do as a give back to the society is to build a 5-star hospital. That must come to bear before I die. Because the reality is that we need to give back to the system. I've lost loved ones that need not die if we had a functional system. So what is money? What is the essence of money? When you're not going anywhere with it, why don't you invest it? You have all the Ford Foundation and all of that coming to think for us in Nigeria. It doesn't make sense. When we have, we call so-called big men.
So let's talk about the doctors that, you know, do travel out of Nigeria and abroad. You know, despite efforts to modernize our facilities, why do these Nigerian doctors still prefer to practice abroad?
The cost of, I said earlier, the cost of educating a doctor in Nigeria, maybe 30 million for that course. The cost of educating a doctor in America, for instance, the minimum use is about $100,000.
Interesting.
Okay, so the disparity is so high. However, the training that is given in Nigeria is better. You would not know until practice. The American doctor and the Nigerian doctor put together, that is why you see Nigerian doctors outshining American doctors in America. Go to UK now, the health system cannot function without the Nigerian doctors and nurses in their system. I am telling you a fact. British system will crumble if Nigerians, expatriates, leave UK.
Wow.
So now imagine take a tenth of that back to Nigeria and give them the kind of funds, emolument that will attract them to come back home. Give them holidays, give them a lot of peck of the office. You will have a fantastic health system. How did they treat the vice president in Lagos? And he was not flown out of the country. That is patriotism. And nobody knew. With
all those things that you've been saying, though, that we've been talking about, if the government decides to do all those things, would you, Mr. Said, would you trust Nigerian hospital?
I was in UCH for 6 months. My father had the money to to take my brother out of the country when he had a brain tumor or a brain problem. His head was as big as a cow. But he was treated in UCH. Ibadan. So you have to, that's why I'm here. You have to believe in yourself before you can succeed in life. Dangote did not make all the money he's having today in Saudi Arabia or in England. He made it here. Why did he come out these days to tell you that it doesn't make any sense for you to steal money and take it away? Why don't you invest it here? The kind of numbers you can make in Nigeria, even with the hospitals, that's an investment. Because you treat people, they pay for it. So those monies go back to government. It is not a waste, it is an investment. And it's a CSR even for industries in Nigeria. The foreigners believe more in Nigeria than we believe in ourselves. So if you stop the exodus of nurses and all of that because of money, increase their emolument.
So do you think, Mr. Sai, thank you so much for that impact. Do you think the high-ranking officials in terms of our governors, presidents and all of that, do you think if they have been forced to rely on Nigerian hospitals, do you think our health sector will be that strong?
Definitely. Rather than me as a governor build a mansion or look for money to train my children abroad, it's stealing, because we know the salaries of governors and all of that. But if you have that kind of money and you now send your kids abroad. Why don't you build a replica here? Igbenedion University started private universities. Look at the standard. The man is still alive now trying to build another university in Abuja. The numbers are crazy. You see Afebarola University, it's an individual. All these things are telling you that you can make crazy money in Nigeria if you think. If you think. There is so much informal sector funds. There is so much now that you see a Hausa man that he didn't go to school, but he's putting effort to do stuff, and he's traded and he's making a lot of money. The Dan Tata dynasty now, their father was a trader. So Nigeria has made crazy money. Dan Tata's first airplane probably was in 1956, a private jet. So that was made in Kano. So what are you talking about? Nigeria is a basket of honey. It is too full if you can think.
We need to put our house in order.
That's all. Think introspection. That's all we need. Stop peer problem or looking at, maybe because Nigerian government has not been able to regulate what we see on air. So there's so much information on air, and we are comparing ourselves to the foreigners. China closed its doors for 40 years because you're not here in China. It is hard work.
So you think Nigerians, we're comparing ourselves to foreigners?
The standard of our lives, whatever we want to do, we benchmark it. Okay, look at our dress styles. Look at our lifestyles. Everything is tailored towards the West. So when are we going to have freedom?
They were actually the one that colonized us.
This is what I'm trying to tell you. Where is your own intellect? Are you not, after 16 years of freedom, are you not supposed to be able to challenge those people? Look at Dubai. Dubai is 50-something years old. Look at what they've been able to do. The kings and the princes and the emirates, they have stupendous wealth. Yet, they were able to invest in themselves. That's the only way to develop. The whole world. I was in England in 1983 on holiday, 100 naira ticket, Nigerian Airways. And I met on Kensington High Street, I met a sheikh with his kids watching a Mercedes 560 and a Mercedes 1000. We don't have it in Nigeria. We never had it then. So I was staying at these chaps, and they were looking at me. What's this black man doing in a shop like this on Kensington High Street? And I told them, I was just sightseeing. Oh, where are you from? I'm from Nigeria. So why are you holidaying here? Said, because it's a good place to holiday. What about you? I am from the UAE. I've never heard UAE. But do you know what the boy told me that day? He said in the next 10 to 20 years, your holiday site, your holiday seasons will not come to UK. You'll be in UAE, Dubai. It has come to pass.
That's come to pass.
That is what I like to hear. Because I don't believe in no. I don't believe in impossibilities. The God of the universe that owns the world has instructed us for as long as the day breaks. There's nothing you cannot do. Because the day breaking is already a miracle. So that day is a fresh day. So think and achieve.
So the government we need to put our house in order.
In order. Give us a level playing field. CBN should reduce interest rates. Okay? Reduce cost of funding. Make it attractable for investors and entrepreneurs like us. Okay? So when you borrow money, you know that yes, the stifling thing is the interest. And so make it attractive for everybody to go into investment. Look at the Lagos State governor yesterday. He set up a bank.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking. This is what Awolowo did now. Awolowo went to all the associations around and told them, okay, sell to me. Awolowo was poor. Let people not deceive you. Awolowo was very poor. Western region was very poor. Go and read. Nobody borrowed Awolowo money. When he started government, he was poor. But he introspected and said, okay, how do we do this? And he went to all the associations. And they agreed, okay, let us buy from you and benchmark the prices. That is what bought Cocoa House. That is what bought Cooperative Bank. Cooperative Bank was set up for the cooperative of the farmers. And they were earning dollars and pounds sterling. When the prices ditch internationally, Awolowo will benchmark it and still buy at a high price from the farmers. So the farmers don't know the difference. But they have been able to warehouse. That's why you see Ogba. You have so many warehouses and all of it. It was Western region. So when they warehouse, they keep for a while. When the Westerners are looking for it, it goes higher. Then they sell. Basic economics, Oyelawa, Form 4. Form 4, you don't need to go to university. And we should stop, everybody should stop wanting to go to university.
So if all this thing is being put together, you think it's going to help medical
It
tourism?
will crystallize instantly. Look at the man, Katsina governor, he almost died last week. He did not fly aboard. He was in Katsina, Daura. So the impact of the former president is being shown now. It means that there are some infrastructures he put in place in his hometown and in his capital. That's a man. He can't do everything, but we have to respect him. What some people did not do. They have commissioned second Niger bridge going to east. They cut the sod, they collected money. They cut the sod, they collected money. Even the Oba of Onisha was having them criticizing them. What are you here for again? But have you not started this thing? You came before, we greeted you, we invited you. Why are you coming back again? You have not done anything.
Talking about that, the Calaba Coastal Road, you know, a lot of persons were actually applauding the government for what they are doing. And at the same time, some persons were saying that this is not like the basic necessity, like we said earlier. This is not what we're supposed to be doing now. The welfare of our people, the health of our people, you know, especially ordinary Nigerians, insecurity of our people is more paramount. That is what we're supposed to be looking and talking about now.
I don't agree with them. Every government is a continuum and is going pari passu. The amount of people that have died on the roads. Look, I just told you about the incident of the governor. Roads are infrastructures that must be put in place along with health. That's why I said scale of preference.
Yes, very important.
Let me give you the instance of that road that you're mentioning. The Lagos-Calabar road can make us ignore crude oil. They have not, even government has not seen the potential. They are just building it. The Lagos-Calabar road can make us forget crude oil. The research that I did in 2002 to 2004 reveals that the potential of the coastal line, 800 kilometers, it has not been tapped. Do you know what it means to have a fingerlings growing system along that waters? And because that road now, if I am in Calaba, I can buy palm kernel, palm oil, epopupa. Yeah, I can buy it in their market 6 p.m. Load it on my 911 on my trailer. I will be in mile 12 market the next morning. But if I pass through the normal route, 3 days I'm not yet in Lagos.
Oh, thank you so much.
Do you understand what it does? It collapses all the logistic issues and it opens the door for investment.
Thank you so much, Mr. Said. We're out of time.
I know, pleasure is mine always.
Thank you so much.
The pleasure is
okay,
mine.
with all what you've said earlier, that we can put our house in order, you know, for these old things to work. We can be able to tackle medical tourism in Nigeria. Yes. Thank you so much for your
pleasure
great input. Okay, we're still on TMI. Thank you all for joining us on TMI this morning on ITV. And thank you for watching. I am Marcelina Umkwa. Just stay safe.